welcome to another episode of Mythic Drafting, where today we're drafting another Lord of the Rings draft. Pretty interesting first pack here. Got some really nice rare in Sauron's Ransom, but it's a double coloured card. Reprieve is nice. I think Meriadoc Brandybuck is good if you're in green, but I don't really want to be. And then Torment of Gollum is really a strong card. I like Rally at the Hornburg as well. And then Generous Ent is good for fixing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start by picking Torment of Gollum. I've just been really impressed with this card. I think it's just one of the better commons in the set. You get a 2-2, you take the best card out of the hand, and you can plant for their entire hand. I think it's better than taking Sauron's Ransom as a multicolour card, which is just going to be awkward to draft around and closes up from like black-red and black-white. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start with the Torment of Gollum. Now, I think, as much as I like the Bath song here, I think this is actually just a pretty easy Torment of Gollum number 2 here. It's just such a strong card. I think it's the best black card in the pack by far. Like, these cards are all pretty filler. Bath song's good. And then, yeah, after that, it really does dry up in this pack. So, 2 Torment of Gollum is a good place to start. And following up with a third pick, Marshal and Blackgate, is just excellent, because this into Torment of Gollum can be really devastating. And if you can pick up any amass cards on turn 3 as well, you can quickly have a really big army on turn 3 and 4, and it's just going to guarantee, well, it just helps enable these being haste creatures to put pressure on the opponent. Also, like Uruk-hai Berserker, like Lorien Revealed, Battle from Edoras is a bit and then I think Coral's End is good in red, but we're going to go ahead and have a really nice start in black. This is where I want to be, really, in this format. I think black's the best colour. I think starting off with black cards is fantastic. And now we can go ahead and pick up another really solid black card in Lash of the Balrog. There's always a lot of stuff to sacrifice. Just solid removal for 5 mana as well. Picking it over, I think Stern Scolding is probably the next best. Stew the Conies is fine, but I don't really want to be in green-black. I actually think Great Hall of the Citadel is an option as well, over some of the, if there wasn't a Lash of the Balrog, to sort of open yourself up to playing a bit of a Legends deck. But yeah, pretty happy with this start here. Speaking of Legends, there's a Gimli, a Guahia, a Warlord in the pack, which is super solid, but there's a Horn of the Dead Marshes and a Sam's Desperate Rescue here. I'm not sure which one I like. I think I like to have one Haunt in most of my black decks, more than I like having Sam's Desperate Rescue. Especially with this start, we don't have any Dunlin Crobanes yet. I do think Guai is good, and if we had taken the Great Hall, I think potentially you could have a think about taking that. I think here we just want to pick up our Horn of the Dead Marshes and hope that we get some Desperate Rescues later. Now I've got an interesting decision in that there's no black cards in the pack. I don't like any of these. I don't mind breaking the Fellowship, but I don't want to move into red for it. And then, yeah, there's nothing really here. There's an Arwen Undomiel, which is like the best card. I think I'm actually just going to take Arwen here as a speculation pick. If we wheel like some Great Halls, we could still end up in that lane. I just don't see myself playing any of these other cards, other than the like Bag End Porter and the Spider. But if I'm in green, I'd rather be in green for Arwen than anything else. So now I get a third pick, really like pick 7, Saruman's Trickery. I think this is better than Glorious Gale. The amass is like, you know, if you go Marshal and the Blackgate, Saruman's Trickery, turn 3, Torment of Gollum, turn 4. That's fantastic. I think it's just the best card in the pack, Glorious Gale, and it's a good sign that blue is open as well. So now it's an interesting pick here between Treason and Quick Beam Upstart. I think Quick Beam is really solid. I think this is a good top-end card in green, but I'd just rather be in blue than be in green here. And Trickery is better than Quick Beam for me anyway, so I think I just like to follow it up with a Treason of Isengard here. Now there's a Council's Deliberation, Dreadful as the Storm, but I think we'll just take Sam's Desperate Rescue here. We don't have a ton of creatures. At this point we have 2. We could just take Dreadful or Councils. But I think we're going to get enough creatures in blue-black that Sam's Desperate Rescue will be fine. So now there's a choice between Irith and Grey Havens. I think I'll just take Grey Havens. I'm not particularly keen on playing it. Again, I'll take another Grey Havens. Actually, I'll take Wizard's Rockets here. I think Grey Havens isn't like a big enough signal that people are going to jump in if they see it. And Wizard's Rockets could be useful for splashing, things like Gwahi the Windlord. But don't think that's really where we're going to end up. And now I think we're going to pretty comfortably solidify ourselves in blue-black here. I'm a little bit worried about the Sauron's Ransom that we passed. And someone might have ended up in blue-black because of that. But I think here this is the best card in our colours. There's like a Smite the Deathless. And in black there's no really super solid card. I think this one is, casting 2 spells is going to be possible when we've got Haunt, Sam's Desperate Rescue, Lash of the Balrog, some cheaper cards. And the Amass theme, is obviously nice given what we've already picked. And now we get a nice little reward here with a Scroll of Isildur. Scroll is nice. You can steal artifacts temporarily. Like you can take a treasure token or you can take a food and sack it. Or, there aren't many artifact creatures in the set. There are some equipment and stuff, so sometimes it can be nice, but it's really the second 2 spells here where you tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them, and then you draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. It's a really nice one, and it's good on the later turns, so it's going to be good with Saruman. I also like the Troll here, and that's about it, really. So Book of Muzzlebull is good as well. So going to go ahead and take Scroll of Isildur here. Alrighty. Now, pick 3 here. There's another Treason. There's a Soothing, and there's a Dreadful as a Storm. Treason's not bad in this deck, given we have double Torment, and we'll hopefully pick up more removal. Soothing is a bit awkward, don't love it. This pack's just pretty mediocre, to be honest. I think Mirkwood Bats is, maybe has a place in this deck, but I think Treason is going to fit what we're trying to do more than anything else here. So let's go ahead and pick that one up. Press the Enemy is not really playable. Maybe, this might be the deck where it is. You just get to bounce a spell and then you can cast an instant or sorcery. So you can just cast, Treason. But again, it's just not that good. And there's a Glorious Gale. There's also Pelargir Survivor, which is actually looks really good in our deck. I actually think Pelargir Survivor is going to be better than Glorious Gale here. We've got so many instants and sorceries, and it allows us to cast a turn 3 Torment of Gollum. So, yeah, I think we just pick up the Pelargir Survivor here, and now we'll pick up an Ithilien Kingfisher. Yeah, that one's going to be pretty nice. So let's go ahead and start sorting here a little bit. This is sort of like removal interaction, and this is sort of value, and then this is our pretty maybe pile here in terms of our 2 splashes. But yeah, we'll pick up a Kingfisher over the Nimrodil Watcher. Now we get a Glorious Gale over the Ambush, Nasty End, Soothing. It's a pretty late Shadow Summoning, but yeah. Glorious Gale's always going to be solid in our deck, and as is Birthday Escape here. Birthday Escape's really good with Saruman. It's good with all these low-cost cards. Good with the Ring Tempts You. And there's a very late range as Firebrand. So red is... Someone's getting hooked up in red here. But we're pretty happy with the Birthday Escape. And now I think we just take a Prince Imrahil the Fair. If we pick up some Great Halls, there's a chance we fix and play these. But there's nothing really at this point that is leading me into that direction. I think that that's just going to be something potential that we could do. I think we're probably cutting all of these, to be honest. Dreadful as the Storm's actually not bad in this deck. Having the Ring Tempts You. I think we only want 1. Also with it's really good with a Mass because it makes it a 5/5. Rally should just not go that late. Red is wide open at this table. Yeah, it makes it a 5/5, and then all the +1/+1 counters go on top of it. So it's a really, really solid one. And as is the Mouth of Sauron, I've got 11 instants and sorceries. So this one is going to be awesome in our deck. There's some consideration here to to just taking Gollum and trying to wheel this, but it's too risky. This card's just too busted in our deck. We have so many instants and sorceries. It's just going to be an absolute value engine for us. So I'm going to pick that one up here. There's a Pippin Guard of the Citadel. So we're not playing Arwen. If we're splashing anything, we're splashing these white cards, but we don't have any ways to splash currently. And I think when there's a Stern Scolding, actually no, when there's a Torment of Gollum number 3, I think we're just taking Torment of Gollum here over Pippin. Could have been a nice blue-white deck. The black hasn't been that good, aside from just our first 3-4 picks where we went Torment, March, Lash. But hopefully that means that we get hooked up here a little bit in black. I mean, wow, we're just getting hooked up a little bit in white here with another Pippin, another Prince Imrahil. There is a Birthday Escape, a Glorious Gale, and a Pelargir Survivor. I think we just want Pelargir Survivor here. I think this card is just really nice in our deck. Enables a lot of what we want to be doing, and we're happy to pick that one up. And now, wow, I mean, I think we're just taking 4 out of Orcs here. There's nothing else for us in this pack. This card is really strong, and we can splash off the Pelargirs. Pelargir Survivors. So, yeah, I think we pitch those, and we splash this. And Troll of Khazad-dûm is going to help us with that. Also just gives us a big finisher that this deck kind of lacks, as well as being a land cycler. Denethor. So now an interesting choice actually between Birthday Escape. There's been a few of them wheeling around, so I think maybe we can just take Alorian Revealed here. Having the second land cycler means I'm comfortable going to 16 land. And I don't mind it with the Desperate Rescue, but we're not taking a second Desperate Rescue here. I mean, we might actually cut the first one, given how few creatures we have. But this is a pretty nice Treason deck with 4A, Torment of Gollum, the counter spells, Lash. Sam's Desperate Rescue might actually get cut here, given... No, I think we'd probably keep it. There's only... The cards we want to get back are like Mouth, Troll... Saruman. I think it's actually pretty bad in our deck, so kind of need to find 2 more playables here. Could play Wizard's Rockets actually to help cast the 4 of Orcs. And there's an Old Man Willow, a Lembas, and a we're not playing the Lembas. We're not playing Murukkai, so I'll just pick up the Old Man Willow here. Some weird world in which we potentially play that. Now it's a Shide Terrace or a Lembas Nasty End or another Lorien Revealed. I think we just take Shire Terrace. I've seen some people really dislike this card, but I think it can be... We're not splashing Old Man Willow here, but we can play 1 mountain now, and this is a triple splash land, and you know, casting our best card here is just going to be pretty decent for us. This is 23. I think we just take the Captain. I don't think we're likely to play it, but we might. Not playing any of these cards. So we could play a Lembas here. Haven't wheeled anything, which is a bit unfortunate. So we're going to have to put, I think, 2 more cards in our deck. So we can put in the Navigator, put another Dreadful. I think we just want a Wizard's Rockets, actually, to help splash this 4 of Orcs, help cast our double-costed cards. Could go down to 1 mountain, given we've got double Survivor. That gives us 16 land plus 2, so 9 sources of each, and a... I think actually we probably want like this. We want way more blue early, and then the question is, what do we... What's our last card here? It could be a Lembas, Deliberation. Got 2 counter spells, so there's some temptation to have a Greyhaven's Navigator. Could have been a really nice Legends deck if we had Great Halls, like playing blue-black and splashing all of these legends would have been really fun, but we didn't get there. And then, so I think the last card, I think it might actually just be Olympus. I think given we don't have a ton of turn 2 plays, I think it's just going to allow us to do something, find some more of the cards we want, and it's just decent enough filler that it kind of balances the deck out a little bit. So that's going to be it. We're Grixis spells here, and I think the deck's solid, but not amazing, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes, and I'll see you in game number 1. Alrighty, here we are in game number 1. We're on the draw, but we've got the Pelargir into Torment of Gollum combo, so this hand is definitely a keep. This hand on the play would just be amazing. I hope we do get to see it at some point. Yeah, going to go Pelargir Survivor into Torment. It's just so solid. It looks like we're up against red-green, or probably more likely, I think, to be up against red-black splashing green. It's pretty common to go up against, like, red-black decks splashing Generous Ent, and then, like, Rise of the Witch King or Old Man Willow. Especially with the Witch King combo, it can be really nice. So now, it looks like we're just up against 5-3, like a lot of colours here. Up against Naya to start with. Haven't seen anything like this. So here's Woe's Pathfinder number 2. Opponent is just going off, but they've only got 3 non-land cards at most in their hand, and so this is where Torment of Gollum is hopefully going to go to town. Like, they could have some, busted legend, or like they could have Aragon, but they would have just cast Aragon, I think. So let's go ahead and just Torment. Take a little peek at what they've got. And okay, so all land. So now we are set up here quite nicely. So we can Treason. But I think we're more likely to just, like, go here and I think we just ship the turn, and then we end step Isolation here, or whatever they play. And if they don't play anything, we might actually just put a Pathfinder on top in second from the top. They still can't attack in yet, because they need both of them to activate. And now, yeah, let's go ahead and put one of these on second from the top. And then let's just bash in. I'm going to cast Saruman, and then the turn after we can Treason and put Isolation back on top and make this thing huge. Yeah, so now we're going to have an 8-8 and a 4-4. And we're going to have them under a lot of pressure. There's Generous Ent. So yeah, let's go ahead and Treason. Isolation. And I think we actually just hold this one turn. Because the question is, like, we can Treason now, or next turn we can Isolation. No, because we know they're drawing Woe's Pathfinder. So I think we just Treason anyway here. It's actually pretty interesting. I think this just puts them under enough pressure here. We want to submit 0, but we're going to get the 8-8 Orc here. Now we can just attack. They take that. We're going to get the Isolation next turn. Like, they're going to attack us with Generous Ent, or we're going to get to bounce it. So they probably should just, if they attack though, we can just bounce it on their end steps. They don't want to attack. They want to make us use it. We can also do the old Pelargir Survivor combo where we put it in top and then mill it away. So Woe's Pathfinder from the opponent. They're going to gain life. I think here we just want to just attack with... Oh no, we can attack with both. Put this away, and then because they don't draw it till next turn, so we can, if we don't draw anything, we can Pelargir Survivor and tap it away and mill it away. But this way we get to attack with Saruman, they can double chump. So opponents see the writing on the wall. Nice first win, and I'll see you on the next one. Alrighty, welcome back for game number 2 here. This is going to be a keep. Got Haunt, March, 4 of Orcs and Treason, so a lot of nice little options here, as well as Scry 1. At some point, we're going to be able to cast 4 of Orcs. The question here is whether we want Saruman the White with this hand. I think we probably... So we draw this, we play a land, we have 2 draw steps to hit our next land. We can always play Treason for nothing. I think we probably do want this, just given it's probably one of our better cards. Although it's potential that we're meant to bottom that and look for another 3 drop there. Now we're just going to bash in with Haunt, and we'll play March, which gets around any counterspell they might have. The dream here is obviously to 4A Treason, 4A back. So maybe we shouldn't have kept Saruman the White on top. Wow, so cast into the fire there is very nice from the opponent. Not a card I've seen commonly played, but hats off to them. So now I think we just want to cast Wizard's Rockets here and get ourselves the option of drawing a card off it. If we draw land, we can just Wizard's Rockets to 4A of Orcs. And now surrounded by Orcs, gonna mill. Mill's 3 non-lands, so that's nice. Now I've got a couple of choices here. We could Treason of Isengard. We could just filter this for red and hope that we hit here. That seems pretty risky. I also don't really want to just Treason here to make a 2-2, although it does allow us to make a 4-4 the next turn. I'd rather Treason with 4A. I think if we're going to win this game, I think we potentially just have to hit off this. So let's go ahead and do it for a red. Hopefully hit a land here. We don't hit the land. It's probably a worst case scenario. I think we just have to cast Treason. And we'll submit it for 0 because we don't want either of those cards there. We just want to hit a land drop here. Knights of Dol Amroth. It's a nice one. We're going to have no blocks here. Now we're in a bit of trouble, to be honest here, but we'll go ahead and play Kingfisher and ship the turn again. We can trade Kingfishers. Opponent's probably got removal. This does allow us to at least tap to sacrifice the Kingfisher to Lash of the Balrog here, which we will go ahead and do. So let's sack a creature and let's target this. Pelargir Survivor is interesting because it does allow us to, and we can double block here. The other option is we're Dreadful as the Storm. I think we just need to play Pelargir Survivor and then hope that it lives to enable us to cast 4 of Orcs here. Soothing of Smeagol, that's probably going to do it because now we've got to chump the 3-3. Yeah, so I think our mistake this game was just keeping the Saruman at the top. We really needed to just hit land. If they choose to not attack with the 3/3 here, that's very... They should just attack with the 3/3. Okay, so they're not going for the kill there. But I don't think there's nothing we can do here. We just play, I mean, we just play Saruman the White and we concede the game. 0-2, we'll see if we can bounce back in the next one. Alrighty, back again for game number 3. This hand's going to be a keep. It's not the greatest hand, but we can probably just Treason on turn 3 and then into Torment, and then Treason back to Torment again. It's going to give us a 4-4 on turn 4, which I think will be fine. Luckily, opponent has taken a mulligan here, so hopefully we can get a win with this deck. I think this deck's actually, you know, a little bit better than it's played. I think that last game we definitely made a mistake, and the hands just, you know, haven't been particularly kind to us. But now I've got the lands here. I'm going to go ahead and ship, and Troll of Khazad-dûm is going to be a good closer here, up against a white-based deck, white-black, so it's going to be a bit of a grind. Turn now. Let's go ahead and just Treason for nothing. Get the 2/2, and we're set up for the Torment of Gollum. We could, I think we will probably trade here if they offer us the trade. It can be good to just, yeah, like now we're splitting effectively the creatures that we got. So Treason's trading here. Just means if they had a removal spell, you know, they can't effectively just make, you know, reduce the value that we're getting there. So now we can go ahead and Torment our opponent. They've got King of the Oathbreakers, which we're just going to slam take. They can keep Nasty End and draw 3 off their Grima Wormtongue, but yeah, we can't let them have King. We have very few ways to interact with that, so very happy to take that one down there. Now we can just go ahead and Treason, and let's put, could just loop the Treasons here, but I think we want to just Torment of Gollum, because what we can do is we can force them to Nasty End here by Torment of Golluming them, they Nasty End, and then we get to take the best card that they draw next turn, or, you know, if they do it now, we might do it on their, yeah, they're going to do it now. We'll do it on their next turn. They'll probably play the best card, but we might get something out of it. So Nasty End, no surprises there. They get to draw 3. And we'll just go ahead and play Pelargir Survivor. It'll be interesting next turn. I think we probably will Torment of Gollum them. They've just drawn a ton of cards, and we want to take one out of their hand. And, you know, if we let them play, give them 2 turn cycles to play with Torment of Gollum, might be a blank, and, you know, adds another 2 power and toughness to the board. So Westfold Rider, nothing too scary. Claim the Precious is a nice one there. But now, let's go ahead and just take a little peek at their hand. So they've got Haunt of the Dead Marsh. Not really getting a ton out of that there, but that's fine. They can just get this back. So opponent played that pretty nicely. That the cards that they drew were very, you know, beneficial and played very well into what we had there. But I think Troll is going to be nice and strong here to hopefully take us to the promised land. Opponent can only have 1 spell in hand, and they're not going to trade here. So Isolation or Orthanc is a good one, but let's go ahead and get on the aggro here. They can trade Westfold Rider, or, you know, let us get 3 in, and we're going to get Troll down, and then we're going to have Isolation to back up next turn. So Troll coming down to try and close this one out. They scryed to the bottom before, so hopefully they don't have anything. They don't. We managed to get our first victory, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, back for game number 4, and this hand's an absolute banger. Just realised as well that we're actually 2-1. We're not 1-2, so that's very nice. And this hand is sweet. We've got the Pelargir Survivor into Torment of Gollum. Not going to land cycle here just yet. We'll wait to see how the hand plays out, because Troll's our best finisher in this deck, so really want to take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what the opponent's got going on. So Reprieve, it's It's going to be nice there, but we can just cast Old Torment this next turn now. Reprieve's a really nice one. Love some Reprieve, but it's much better in the red-white decks when you get to play out your cards and you might cast, you know, you might cast a smaller, you know, a cheap spell and then hold Reprieve up to get a tempo advantage. But I'm just going to go ahead and Torment here. So there's another Reprieve, Protector of Gondor, Second Breakfast, and Oliphant. So I think we just want to take Protector of Gondor here and give them less bodies. We can play around this Second Breakfast. And we don't... The Protector of Gondor is going to be really nice with the Book of Mazarbul because they would get to... both the bodies would take advantage of this. Potentially shouldn't have attacked there and actually just double blocked, but they do have the Second Breakfast, so that gives them something to do on that turn and survive through and kill both of our creatures. So yeah, that's not the right line there. Now we have an interesting one. We can cast Saruman, but they're just going to Reprieve it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast the Kingfisher here. They're going to Reprieve it, I think. That's fine. And we're going to get March from the Black Gate down and put some pressure on our opponent here. So we get to amass 1, and now we get to amass 1 again and smack them for 5. Pretty nice turn for us. They can't cast Oliphant this turn, so they're going to hit us for 4, but we're actually putting more pressure on them. So Oliphant will be cast next turn. If we draw land, or Eowyn... Jeez. Eowyn Fearless Knight is just an absolutely absurd magic card. I mean, it comes down, exiles the biggest creature, and it's a 3/4 haste. It's just a nutty card. Let's go ahead and just cast Saruman here. Pretty awkward for us given they've got Second Breakfast, but not much we can do. If they do attack with... It does at least mean that they have to cast Second Breakfast if they want to attack. But yeah, the old Eowyn there really turning the tide. So they're going to have to cast Second Breakfast. We can double block here. They'll cast Second Breakfast. We kill Eowyn. But I think it's probably better to just kill Eowyn here. Going to Second Breakfast up to a 5/5. Yeah, that's fine. So Second Breakfast comes down. They could have drawn like Smite the Deathless there and we get punished, but I think it's worth taking down the bigger creature there and getting more value. Pelargir Survivor is a nice one to block the old Eastmark Cavalier, and now we can cast Troll of Khazad-dûm. They've got Oliphant to come down the turn after, but it is going to help us stabilise. Although the trample from the Troll and whoever they put it on is going to be tough for us to deal with. So I think here they're probably just going to cast Oliphant, unless if they've got removal for Troll, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. But yeah, the Eowyn really swung this game in a massive way. So we could Lorien Revealed, but I think we just need to get the Kingfisher down and the Wizard's Rockets down as well. So let's go ahead and stick those and ship the turn here. So we're going to take 1 from Oliphant. And then we might have to chump the Orc Army. Depending on what they put the buff on, will depend on... Wow, so Theoden, that deck's really sweet. Yeah, the double striking Oliphant, that's just good game. Nothing we can do. Super sweet red-white deck from the opponent. 2 and 2, and I'll see you in game number 5. Alrighty, on the draw here. Another decent hand. Pelargir Survivor can potentially give us the old turn 4 Kingfisher Gale combo. And does mean we can cast Saruman's Trickery on turn 3. Opponent's taken a Mull, but that didn't do it for us last time, so we'll see how this one goes. Mull definitely a little bit more punishing on the play than the draw. Now I think we actually are going to cycle the troll here, given we've hit the torment. We just want to be able to cast this on turn 3 and just set up our plan. Let's go ahead and cast Pelargir Survivor, which helps us cast Lion Revealed. So now I can play Torment of Gollum, then we can scope their hand out, play Kingfisher, and set things up. More here. It's a nice one. Scroll of Isildur, nice as well, but we're just going to go ahead and Torment of Gollum them. Pretty glad I did. So we can take Saruman the White or Sauron the Dark Lord. I think it's pretty clear Dark Lord here. We just do not want them casting that ever. And we can play around the old Saruman now. And Oath of the Grey Host. So that's a nice one from the opponent. Puts a little bit of pressure on us. So I think we can Scroll of Isildur here. But I don't love that yet. So actually, if we scroll, because if we scroll now, we take control of this. Then they have their second one. This actually will draw us 1,000,000 cards off their... Yeah, so let's off that tapped here. Let's go ahead and take their artifact. The ring's going to tempt us here on Pelargir. Let's go ahead and... So now it's going to create... We're going to lose 3. They're going to get a treasure token. They do get to cast this, but now we'll get to stun 2 of their creatures. And then they'll create 3 tapped and we'll get to draw 5 cards. So hopefully that gives us the gas we need to stabilize. We get to stick old Saruman here. We'll happily double block and trade. There. We don't want... We just want to tap these. And now we've got 5 mana. So I think let's cast Athelian Kingfisher. Say go. So they're gonna have 5 tapped creatures. And we've got Glorious Gale to hopefully counter whatever they play this turn, if they have a play. Yeah, and we will snap counter Dunlin Crabane. It's still going to be really tough for us to win, given the number of bodies they've got, the flyers, but drawing 6 here is pretty nice. Just going to have a think about how we play it from here. So we want to play an island. So next turn we can Saruman the White, Wizard's Rockets. Treason of Isengard doesn't really get us much. Pelargir Survivor doesn't do a whole lot either. But I think we probably want to just lay down. I think Survivor and holding up Dreadful as the Storm is potentially nice here because we can kill the Saruman. We're at 9. So we're probably going to trade here for 1, but we ideally would Dreadful as the Storm the Kingfisher and eat that. So we could just Dreadful as the Storm, hold up Saruman's Trickery and chump Saruman. I kind of like that line, actually. So no attacks. End our turn. We're going to discard Haunt, discard Wizard's Rockets. Now we're going to use the Pelargir Survivor to cast Dreadful as a Storm, hold up Saruman's Trickery here. So they're going to probably swing. They should attack with Saruman. Okay. This is great for us. So we get to do this. Tap this for blue. Cast Dreadful as the Storm. Now if they have like a removal spell, we get to counter it in response. I think we want Pelargir Survivor to still be our ring bearer here. We take 2, but we keep our Kingfisher. And we get to counter Easterling Vanguard. And amass 1. It's probably possible we actually should have just kept Haunt. Lash is nice. Lash is... Oh. So Lash allows us to kill Saruman here. So we could Lash, sacking, pay 2, cast Treason of Isengard to put back Lash, which I think is pretty nice. So I think let's go ahead and we want to kill Saruman. So let's sack a creature, target Saruman, auto pay here, sack this, pay the ward cost, and then we can Treason Lashback. Because this way we get to trade for one of the we'll trade for 1 here. We can, and then if we need to, we can always Lash the second spirit to stop the flying threats. And we're going to get to draw here. As well. So we get to see the next card. Land's nice. So now I think we just cast Saruman. We're still on 6, so I actually don't think we need to Lash yet. We can just cast Pelargir Survivor, amass 2, and then I think we start putting the pressure on the opponent here and getting in with the 4/4. Opponent probably, you know, they're tempted to chump, but they also don't want to because the 1/1s help them potentially win. This 1/1 flyer as well with the food token. The food's going to allow us to just outrace here, I think. So we can hold our Lash. And this Orc army is going to get pretty big pretty quickly. We're going to use one of our Pelargir Survivors here as well to cast Lorien Revealed. Just keeps us with an extra island in case we draw a non-spell blue card. So March is a good one. Because March allows us to... Could Torment here, actually. Yeah, I think we just want to have a peek here. We don't know what they have. They could have like a 6-drop in their hand. They could have removal. So improvise club is... And now they mountain cycle. So they get a land. They would almost do it, but done. Now I can actually Lash, sack a creature, target this, sacking this, take that down, and we know this is mountain. If they have removal, I think we just want to, we'll give them 1 turn here. We just want to hold back for 1 turn to avoid the removal there. But now we can cast March from the Black Gate, amass, just crack our food now, and then we'll just get in with the 9/9, and I think we can get in with Pelargir. Potentially a bit risky, but we get to draw. That was a nice draw. So, pitch Swamp here. Put them to 8. Cast Lembas. Scry this to the bottom. Draw a card. Now I'm regretting that, but 4A is going to help clear the way. We can sack Lembas if we need to. That's going to do it. 3 and 2. That was a really, really close game. I think the decision to try and draw all those cards off Scroll of Isildur was probably the turning point for the game. Managed to have the resources to claw back the tempo and get the win there, and I'll see you on the next one. Alrighty, here for game number 6. We're on the draw. This hand is definite keep. We've got Pelargir into Torment into Lash with Lembas to help us dig, so I'm pretty happy with this hand. Lash as well, we can pay the full cost given we've got Pelargir Survivor to help ramp us into it. Easterling Vanguard from the opponent is pretty well countered by Pelargir, but Torment of Gollum's going to be even nicer here. His opponent's hand, pretty nice. They got Swarming, Harrodim, Spearmaster, Mordor, Trebuchet. I think I'm pretty happy to just take Crebain here. Lash can deal with all the others. We're probably going to save Lash for the Troll. Not trading there. Opponent's probably going to cast Swarming of... No, okay. They're going to cast Hadron after, so we're just going to cast Lorien Revealed now and draw a bunch of cards. So, yeah, no attacks from us. Scroll of Isildur is going to be nice to take Mordor Trebuchet from them. We can actually... Oh, no, we can't use the Trebuchet, but... Got Haunt. I don't want it. I'm happy to take 3 here. So they cast Swarming of Moria. But now we can actually use the Scroll to steal the treasure. If they let us take the treasure, they shouldn't let us take it. They should just sack it. They'll sack it. But we do stop them from getting the Troll down a turn early. And it's going to let us, tap down 2 creatures next turn. Now we can... I think we just want to pass with Dreadful as the Storm up. Just go ahead and pass the turn. So now we can take advantage of Dreadful. So they're going to amass. Put it on that. So they're going to get in with everyone. Just go ahead and block this. I think we just want to kill the Orc army. Shuts this down for a turn. We can tap the other 2 creatures down. Yeah, I think this is the line. Let's go ahead and pump up the 7/7. Make Pelargir Survivor the Ring Bearer. Because now we got a 10, but they lose this. We get to tap down these 2 for this turn. Get to play this out. Get to play Haunt. Can scry this away. And so we could... Lash at the Balrog something here, but I don't think we really need to, and I think we can just take, this turn to set things up for the future. We get to scry. Saruman's Trickery is nice, and so I think we could play Wizard's Rockets here as well, and then just hold up Trickery, using Pelargir Survivor to cast that. It's also going to stop them from being able to trigger that. So let's go ahead and counter more here. They're not going to get their little rock. We get another Orc. They get Oligarch Crusher. we get 4A of Orcs here. So get to draw 2. Now we play Shy Terrace. I think we just want to run 4A of Orcs out to take down the Troll. And now we could cast Torment of Gollum here. But I think we're actually pretty happy to just bash with the 5/5. We can chump with Horn of the Dead Marshes and then cycle it. And, you know, Torment's kind of dead at this point. It's not going to get to take a card out of their hand, most likely. His opponent's going to attack. Oh, they're not going to attack here. So now we can just sacrifice Lembas, buffer the life total back up, shuffle it back. Now it's our turn. So now we could Torment of Gollum. I think we do, just to get the bodies on the board. If they have like a Smite the Deathless, they have to use it on Pelargir Survivor, which isn't great. Speaking of the Devil, in hindsight, probably should have just Wizard's Rockets there. So they do get to amass 1 here. We can actually just lash if we want to. I think let's just see what we draw from this. Birthday Escape. I think we can just hold it. Would have been really good if we had blue, because we could Birthday Escape our 7/7, do the old chump. I think we actually might just want to lash at the Balrog here and stop this Mortal Trebuchet. Because we're going to take 6 from it. It's going to get to chump. I think we actually want to just do it here and sack Haunt, because we're going to get a legendary next turn. We only take 4 this way, and if they want to race us, we'll win the race. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. We'll hold the Swamp to cycle with the Ring. There are certainly draws that can punish this here, but Battlescar Goblin is not going to be one of them. So they can get us in for 2 or 4, depending on what they do. But if they're going to race, I think they're going to get in with both. Like, you know, you should attack there with Harridan Spearmaster. I don't think you're, you know, holding it back. We're going to go to Swamp here. Now I can Birthday Escape the Ring. I'm going to get in to filter this. Treason's a nice one here. Just going to put 4A of Orcs back on top. I think is the best option as a removal spell and end the turn. Because now they need 2 blockers back. You can just hold 4A as well. Opponent's probably going to get in. If they get in with 2 though, they're at a pretty big risk of us having anything. Yeah, so they're not going to. We can get Horn of the Dead Marshes back, leaving that one on top. We don't even need to play it though. I think we can just bash, cycle, drawing a lot of land here. They're going to chump. We just say go. We don't need to 4A because we want to save it for something more serious at this point that we can't deal with the 9/9. And opponents in the writing on the wall. 4 and 2. Let's see if we can get another win in the next one. Alrighty, back again for game number 7 here. This hand's a snap keep. We've got access to all our colours. Got a pretty nice curve with March into Ithilien Kingfisher. And Treason as well can get it started again, but yeah, we're actually very happy to see the old Torment of Gollum come down here. We're going to get to go Kingfisher into Torment, and we're going to have a pretty big threat here and hopefully take down the opponent's removal. And if they go to remove this here, it's going to be nice for us. So now we can have a choice between actually just Treason of Isengard for 0 here. And if they don't have a way of dealing with it, it's quickly going to get out of control. I think that's actually worth it in this situation. It takes it out of the reach of Smite the Deathless. If they have Claim the Precious, they can claim it. We're still only really down the Treason for the claim, and we can get it started again with Torment of Gollum. So happy to go for that there. Hoping to see them play a mountain here and not a swamp. They've got the swamp, so they can claim here. I think they're probably, I would expect them to have claim. But I think it was probably worth it. No, they don't have Claim the Precious here. So now we're really going to get to pile the pressure on them. They can't hold back Battle-Scarred Goblin. If they have Lash of the Balrog, they can 2-for-1 themselves here. They don't have it. So let's go ahead and take a peek at their hand. Torment, Smite, and Mithril Coat. So we'll take Torment here. It makes one of their creatures indestructible. So it actually might be better to just take Mithril Coat here. Though they can't play it and equip. Does allow them to... I think we just take Torment here. They can Mithril Coat, but it's going to take them 2 turns to play the coat and equip it to one of these creatures. And by that stage, we'll probably have killed one of them. We'll get Kingfisher down. So they can Smite or they can Coat here. But yeah, Mithril Coat's not going to be able to come down and attach to a legendary creature. And ping us for 1 here. They can triple block and Smite the Deathless, but that doesn't seem great to me either. I think we're going to kick things off with Birthday Escape. Although now actually I think we just play Saruman the White. Because it means that we'll be able to play Saruman. And then play these 2 and amass. Again, to reset it if we need to. Though there's some consideration to just playing Kingfisher to have the aerial threat. We'll see if they chump here, then I think we can play Kingfisher to just guarantee that we get through in the air for the win. If they don't chump, then I think we'll play Saruman the White to get 2 bigger threats down onto the board. So opponent's probably got a chump here, I think. Yeah. Now we'll take advantage of our mana. Play Saruman. And then they're probably going to Mithril. They can Mithril Coat and equip this turn. And then they have to chump. They have to chump Saruman, potentially. So they have to use their treasure to do this now. They're probably going to put it on Erebor Flamesmith, I would guess. You probably want to do it on that one because you get the benefit of it. Put it on Battle-Scarred Goblin. We're going to get to attack with Saruman here. Because they can't double block. They have to chump here. Saruman's going to sneak through. We're going to get to cast Kingfisher. And we'll just cast Birthday Escape here. Make our Kingfisher the ring bearer, say go. They can Smite the Deathless, the Kingfisher. But they're quickly getting to the point where Saruman will kill them pretty quickly. The only thing is they can Barad-dûr amass over and over again. That's a little bit interesting. They need 3 mana. So unless they have a land in hand, they can't do that. 11/11 Orc Army is pretty crazy. The old March, Treason, Torment. Pretty powerful when you can stack the Amass and they don't have hard removal for it. Mithril Coat, certainly an interesting one. Here's Ugluk of the White Hand here. Ugluk is interesting. I think we want to Torment them. I want to Torment to take Smite the Deathless out of their hand now. And just see what their last card is as well. It's useful information. Could be a Land Cycler. In which case they're going to want to cycle it. No, so it's Troll of Khazad-dûm or Smite the Deathless. I actually think we just want to take the Smite because it guarantees us now that, I mean, the Orc Army is going to be a problem here. I mean, sorry, the Kingfish is going to be a problem. To block here, they can double block Saruman if they want, but that's fine for us to take that trade. Now they have to draw land. They don't have to draw land, but certainly wouldn't hurt them. Lash of the Balrog. I'm going to keep that one on top. Draw that. We'll get to use that to take down the Troll if they cast it. And then we're just trying to ride the Kingfisher to victory here. This is really the plan here. The Mithril Coat's, better than I expected. Warbeast of Gargaroth's actually quite annoying. Could attack. Dreadful as a Storm will just win us the game here. Opponent's got to block and we can just Dreadful and get that last point of damage in. Probably would win even if we didn't top deck this one. So that was a nice little game. Opponent's just got to play it out here. Just wait for them to click through. Gonna block. And we can just Dreadful as a Storm the Kingfisher to get those final bits of damage through. Good game to the opponent. 5-2. Certainly pretty good effort with this deck. And let's see if we can close this one out. Alrighty. Back again for game number 8 here. This hand's going to be a keeper. Interesting choice between Wizards Rockets here on turn 1 or Cycle Troll. I think it's going to be just Wizards Rocketing. Because Wizards Rocket's going to allow us to cast Pelargir Survivor, which will allow us to cast our other blue spells, and also dig one closer here. So let's go ahead and cycle the Rocket for some blue mana. Torment of Gollum is a nice one. If we draw land now, we can Torment. We can also just pass and hold up. Glorious Gale here. Isolation or Thank. So I think here we're just going to go ahead and cycle the Troll. Get our land and say go here. We don't want to just Treason for nothing because we can Torment Treason. Hadron Spearmaster is going to get countered here. We just want to counter basically anything in that spot. Opponent probably didn't see that one coming. The fact that this is mana of any color is just so nice. So now we could cast any of these, but we're just going to cast Torment. We can then Athelion and Treason of Isengard here. So now Call of Fair Andros. So they've got 6 lands. I think we just want to take the call here. We just don't want them to play that at all. And we can deal with this Chance Meadows with our 2/2s. And this card, if you just let it, you know, go off is just absolutely busted. So we don't want them to do that. Now we can, I think we just want to bash in here with the 2/2, happily trade that for the Death Toucher there. We could Torment of Gollum. I think actually we want to Treason and just get Glorious Gale here. They're a green-red deck, so they're going to have a lot of creatures. An Auto Tapper, absolutely brutal there. I wanted to Treason and cast Kingfisher, but that's just not going to be now. Brandywine Farmer showing why it's just one of the worst cards going around. We'll cast Kingfisher. Bash with the 2/2 here. And now they know we've got Gale, but there's not really much that they can do about it here. And that's going to be the concession from the opponent. 6-2. Let's see if we can get the last one in the trophy. Alrighty. Interesting hand here. Birthday Escape, Lembus, Lash. Some of our better cards in this one. I think I'm going to keep it. We're just going to cycle through here and try and hit, you know, the cards we need. But the upside of this hand is so strong. I think it's worth keeping here. Up against the blue-black mirror. They've cycled Lorien Revealed. They've got Mortal Muster. That's probably one that this deck is somewhat missing here. Treason of Isengard. I think that's one we want to keep on top here. It allows us to cycle a few different things. Like we could cycle Birthday Escape, just get a 2/2, which makes 4A a bit better. And also Treason works quite well with Dreadful as the Storm. So I'm happy to pick that one up here. Especially like Birthday Escapes, we're going to be able to cycle now with it. And start looting to try and find what we need here. Treason of Isengard getting back 4A of Orcs is very nice. So no blocks. Sorry, getting back Lorien Revealed. Now we're going to Birthday Escape. And then bash in to cycle. Scroll of Isildur is good. Pitch land. Hit damage. Now we could Lash here. But I think we just want to scroll. We do take another big hit here, but yeah, we get to uptick the ring. We get to tap these down. They're going to draw. So now we go to 5. And then we get to tap them down. Pelargir Survivor is nice actually here. Because now what we can do is we can actually Pelargir Survivor. Bash in. Cycle. Pitch land. I think here we actually want to uptick ring. We hit them for 7 down to very low here. I mean, they could just be dead to 4A of Orcs next turn now. And we're going to get to draw 2 off scroll. So they have to get a creature down that can stop that can block, doesn't die to 4A, doesn't die to Lash. So we're in a pretty good spot. And they probably have to commit their resources to the board here. They probably can't just hold stuff back. I think we're in a decent spot. Scroll of Isildur is the card up. It's been very impressive this draft. So 1 ring to rule them all. They mill cards equal to the ring bearer. I assume they're going to have Smoothing of Smeagol here. So this is interesting because I think what we want to do is we actually want to... 4A makes this lethal. And so I think we're going to want a 4A of Orcs here. killing the Dunlin Crabane. They're going to nasty end, and now that they're just dead to the Orc. The Orc's going to smack them in the face. Pitch land here, and then the ring will finish them off. That is the trophy. Pretty sweet last game there. I think there were a few lines we could have taken there that would have actually got us the loss, but nice one to win. Going back up to Diamond, which is nice. Haven't been playing as much as I would like to, with things like work and real life getting in the way. But that was a sweet, sweet win. Really love the power of the blue-based spells decks taking advantage of Pelargir Survivor. This is a card that has really impressed me so far in the format. It just allows you to do cute things like Splash Foray very easily. Like we essentially had 5 sources of red with 1 mountain in the deck to cast this one, and the combo of Torment of Gollum and Pelargir Survivor is just fantastic. So very impressed with this deck. Happy to get the trophy. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment below with what you enjoyed in this one, and I'll see you in the next one.